Good morning, family. It's Vanessa. I hope everyone is having a great morning. It is so beautiful today. It's like a little chill in the air, but it's really nice. This weather's crazy here in the Bay Area, but it's really nice. Yeah, today is Friday. Oh, and I'm so thankful. But, but yeah, it's Friday. What is today? The 20th, I think? The 20th of April. I did not wake up for the live stream last night. For Alan's live stream. And it's so funny because a good friend of mine, we've been friends for a couple of years, but she's our sister. She's part of the Mishpachah. She's in Georgia, and I told her, you and Alan are on the same time zone, in the same time zone, so make sure you get up, because I really want you to, because she's never watched it live. She's always caught it after. And so I think she caught it live, and I fell asleep. Not that I fell asleep, I had been asleep. I was so tired last night. Yeah, so I had been asleep for a couple of hours before I woke up, and then I woke up at like 3 in the morning and watched it, my time, Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, it had been over for like an hour or two, I think. But there's some points that Alan made last night when I was watching, again, when I was getting dressed for work. I watched the video, and I just wanted to kind of point out some things that he said to keep you encouraged and to strengthen and edify what Alan said, because I agree with him 100%. Ask if you were to have asked me about 3.5 years ago, what's the most important thing in my life, or the most important person, I would have definitely said, oh, my son. My son comes first. He comes before everything and anything in my life. I work for him. I eat for him. I do everything for him. I sweat for him. I sleep for him, and it was true. My son, no one came above that, or no. And when I started to get closer with Abba, that changed. It wasn't Vanessa. It wasn't me. I didn't change that stance. Abba did. And it's almost like the things that I was going through, the tribulations, little t, that I was going through. I'm so sorry. It's, like I said, it's super sunny over here, but yeah. So I hope that you guys can still, okay, I hope you can kind of still see me. If not, listen to my voice. But the trials and tribulations that I was going through, it's kind of like Elohim was asking me, do you want to put me first now? Am I first in your life, or is your son still first? And that might sound funny, but it's so true. And when I called out to him and really, realized that he's number one. He's the only person that can help me to live a life meaningful and feel shalom and rid myself of the heavy darkness, the heavy cloud that was above my head everywhere I went. And people could feel it, people could see it, just like what Alan said last night with the scripture. My heart was sunken. So my face, it showed on my face. And I'm that type of person, you heard the term, oh, she or he wears his heart on her sleeve. I've always been like that. Ever since I was a little girl, my family used to make fun of me because I was so sensitive. But yeah, my face, it's so true. That scripture is 100% accurate. People that came in contact with me, even now, when I'm upset, when I'm happy, when I'm sad, and I don't have to say a word. And that's just how it is. But anyway, so now, and especially when I started to explain to my son, when I started to share the Father's word as I'm commanded as his parent with him, I made it clear to my son that he's number one for me. And as for me and my household, we're going to follow Elohim. Now, because during my life, since childhood, I have had a lot of, I don't know if supernatural is the term, but I've had a lot of things happen to me that can't be explained. And my son, he's a witness to how I have reacted under demonic attack. And so when he's seen that change, and he's seen the Ruach, he physically witnessed the Ruach acting in me and helping me to rely more on Abba, to where I knew how to combat those things. So he was more susceptible. It was easier for him to accept my deliverance, accept the change that I was going through. Because, like I said, because he had witnessed me and, suffering for years. I mean, without saying too much, because I don't want to give emphasis on darkness, because it's all about the esteem of Yahweh and what he does. But I would get attacked so bad in my sleep that there were several times in my life since a little girl, and it didn't stop after I had my son, that I would wake up screaming, seeing entities in my face. And my ex-husband, my family would all come running to me, come running in my room to calm me down. And I would be pointing at things and just couldn't believe that they didn't see what I saw, that they couldn't see what I saw. When I accepted my deliverance, that's the wrong term. Not when I accepted my deliverance, when I decided that I wanted to be delivered by the deliverer, the only person in my life that I knew of who could deliver me from these things and fight the battle for me. Done. It was done. Literally done. I'm not saying symbolically, metaphorically, it was done. That was 2.5 years ago. The last time I had that happened to me. 2.5, maybe 3 years ago. But yeah, so who's first in my life? Who comes first is Yahweh, Yeshua, and the Ruach HaKodesh. Now, another point that he made, which I mean, all through the live stream, and again, it's about having the ears to hear. So I know some people were probably like listening to it like, oh, Alan is tripping, okay, or he's really upset, or he's being... No, you have to have the ears to hear what he's saying. And it's so funny because Elohim will, while Alan is talking, sometimes it's like Elohim, the Ruach will say, no, that's not it. And then Alan will say no. And it's not Alan. That's the thing too. It's not Alan. We don't subscribe to Alan's channel or listen to him because of him. It's the Ruach. That's what it is. It's Elohim guiding us and leading us to him. The point that he made last night, I was actually just studying, listening to Brad Scott earlier this week about one of the points. I thought it was just amazing how Alan brought that up with the tree, or the walking stick. Pick up your walking stick and follow me. That's what Yeshua said. So Brad Scott had actually said, it's not a cross, it's a tree. He's saying, so in Brad Scott's study, and I'll find it and link it below, he was saying that, that's where a lot of Christians, they take that scripture and they confuse it because they think it's my cross, because they think you have to bear what Yeshua already did. And it's like, that is so true. He already did it. Why would you think that you need to do anything, or that you could do what Yeshua did for us? Nope, you surely cannot. So then Brad Scott had mentioned that, it's not this, it's not the cross, it's an actual tree. It goes back to the tree of high, the only tree that's going to be left in the end, that one tree. Before we come to YHWH, we're trying to grow our own tree. We have our own tree. We're trying to grow it. We have these different branches going in all kind of ways. And so Yeshua is saying, if you love me, pick up your tree, and come over here. And come over here into my one tree, into the tree of high, if that's what you really want to do. Now, Alan was saying, pick up your walking stick, which makes more sense to me, and walk this way, which is my way to the tree of high. Now, listen, Yeshua is life. The whole word, Yeshua is the word. It's all about life. So if you want to continue, if you want to continue to water your own tree, then you'll always be confused and you won't be joined in with Yeshua. You won't understand. You don't have the ears to hear because you just don't have it. So when we run into people like that just refuse to hear, and it's really clear on social media who has the ears to hear and who doesn't. When we run into people like that, why waste your time? See, when we choose to waste our time on people like that, like for real, it goes back to what I was saying before. We're telling Abba that we know more than him, and we don't. We're telling him, I don't need the Ruach because I can do this myself. I can help myself. I can help bring people into the kingdom better than the Ruach can. Isn't that crazy? But when you think about it, that's what it is. Why waste your time? Abba will send his Ruach to do the work in whoever he gives the ears to hear. There are certain ones that just won't hear. And that is okay. And we have to learn to be okay with that. It took me a while. I would be really frustrated and irritated with my family and friends. Remember I was telling you guys before when I would try to tell everybody what his name was and everybody will, and it's like, nope, it doesn't work like that. That is not my job. That is not your job. That's not our job. Our job is to be led. And when we're led, it will be easier and easier and easier for us to know those who have that walking stick and the ears to hear what the word, Yeshua, and YHWH and the Ruach is saying and leading us to, It's so, so true. Another point that was made, I feel like this whole video is like a review of last night, but I just, I'm one of those people, I have an ear to hear, and I just thank the Father. It's not me, it's him and what he's doing. He wants us to get it, and he chooses who's going to get it. And just like my channel, my video are for those who have the ears to hear. I don't care about, how many people, have the ear. If just one person, has the ears to hear, then that's who he sent to my page. That's who he sent to my channel. That's who he's sending and trusting that I'm going to give them what he says, what he gives me to share, what the Ruach is guiding and leading and counseling in this life experience for me to share with you, to encourage the Mishpachah, the family. Another point Alan mentioned was pharmakeia. Man, I'm telling you, I'm going to do a special video, and I have a few people I want to dedicate it to that have asked me to share my story and my testimony. Because I'm very young, I know y'all like, well, you ain't too young. You got a 20-year-old son. A 20-year-old son, which is true, but I'm still, I'm still young. But I've lost most, if not all, of my immediate family in a very short amount of time. But how Elohim has brought me through, And there's, again, I'm going to make a video, but there were doctors that I truly know and feel now in my life who were rooted in Elohim, had a heart for him when I didn't. And I feel that there were some doctors that I know were demonically influenced, that that if he didn't call me, I never would have made it, you guys. I know it. And so just the fact that I'm here to talk to you all, I will always, always proclaim his name, the name of the person that gave me the right to live, to have high. And, and I will always put him as number one. He knows more than me. He knows more than you. And that's just what it is, But I've been taking something that has been doing great things in my life, and I didn't share with everybody. And that's another thing. No, I don't go on sharing with everyone, just like what was said in the video. Just because you want to show Abba, you want to show Elohim, thank you for this. This is what you have guided me to. If he guides you to something and he tells you to share this with this particular person, that's different. But I got this certain supplement, and I talked to the doc, DB, Dr. Dennis Black, and he just immediately was like, "Oh yeah, Vanessa, that is it. That's gonna do wonderful things for you. Keep it up." And I had never even heard of this, this supplement that I'm taking. I had never even heard of it. It's like Abba just was like, da da da. This is this right here. This natural thing is the remedy for what you need. You're gonna have energy, da 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 da, and I'm good. I'm fine. And when I think of that, how thankful I am, and then just to think about, I'm checking the time, and then to go back and think about where he's brought me from. Refusing, to take medication that they told me I needed to take. How can we not continue to proclaim his name and thank him for what he's doing? So anyway, today is going to be a good day. This is the day Yahweh has made. He has made it. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Shalom.